But now, Larry, I know that you and Lamont checked this out on Friday, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. It is the trailer for Emancipation with Will Smith. I believe this is the second trailer. I think
Oh no, I wasn't on with him on Friday.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. So let's just go ahead and check out this trailer with Will Smith, and hopefully it's pretty good.
Give thanks to God. The Lord is with us. What can a mere man do to me?
I will come back to you!
You walk the earth because I let you. I'm your God now.
Slaves are free. We must get to Baton Rouge through this swamp. Lincoln's army is dead. There are many ways to die in a swamp. I must get to my family.
What if you don't come back?
Your papa is going to be back. Do not ever stop believing that.
She's persistent. Running, hiding, surviving.
Fight them. They beat me. They whip me. They break the bones in my body more times than I can count. But they never break me.
Woo! A runaway slave forges through the swamps of Louisiana on a torturous journey to escape plantation owners that nearly killed him. Larry, I'm conflicted on this trailer. Because there's a lot of good in it, but my emotions are telling me something different, man. But how are you feeling about it so far?
I tell you right now, I'm not conflicted at all. I'm looking at that trailer and thinking, if that movie's half as good as that trailer, all is forgiven. You know, in fact, the Oscars, the Academy, they might have to go ahead and tell Will, we said you couldn't come back to the show, but you can zoom in because we're going to have to give you another one. You know, because that shit looks dope. I mean, I get so tired of the typical slave movies, and this one looks like the dude is not about that bullshit. Like, he's actually running and coming back, fighting, coming back for his family. It looks like it is going to be, as far as stories are concerned, it looks like a good one. If you're going to do a slave narrative, it looks like this one might be a good one. So I'm not mad at it. I didn't feel like, I didn't watch this and feel sort of like it wasn't cringing like you do sometimes when you watch these slave things. And yeah, it felt all right. It felt right. So
Right on. And there's a few people, I agree with you. And there's a few people in the chat saying, like, what's up with the African accent? I noticed that as well, but I don't know when, you know, some of us doing slavery, some of us was already here native to the land, and, you know, some of us came over on the boat. So I don't know exactly, you know, when he first came through. Go ahead with your What you about to say?
No, that one that threw me off a bit. I was gonna mention that too, because if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken from my history. I don't recall, but if I'm not mistaken, it was something like, I feel it was like 50 years or something before the Civil War that they actually banned or outlawed the importation of African slaves into the country. There was still slavery allowed. You could still sell them, buy them, sell them, trade them, breed them, all the other stuff. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the importation of slaves had been banned, which would suggest that after 2 generations, people wouldn't be rolling around with African accents anymore as slaves. And so, so it's unclear. It's unclear why. I mean, maybe the guy did. I mean, if the story is based off, if it's supposedly based off of a true story, which we've all seen that photo with the guy with his back whipped. If it's based off of a true story and the guy really did, he really was he really was a fresh off the boat, if you want to say, and he was brought in from Africa, then yeah, he would have an accent. But if he was born here, it doesn't seem like that would be accurate.
Right. We'll see, and I'm open to it. I will say the trailer looks amazing. I mean, man, that cinematography, those photos, those shots, just what they was doing with the camera, that looks beautiful. And I'm really interested in what they're going to be doing with the color, because a lot of it was in black and white, but there was brief glimpses of color here and there. And so I'm really curious on how they're going to play that out. But I said I was conflicted because I'm just like, man, this just looks so good. But, it's a slavery movie. And I don't want to just, I'm still drained from Till. And, that wasn't slavery, but, that was still oppression. And just that line of dialogue.
I couldn't get my I just couldn't get my body in my mind in the right place to watch that. I was like, I'm gonna watch that movie and be angry at people for a week. I didn't want that. I didn't want that energy right now.
I feel you. And that line of dialogue at the beginning, he was like, I'm your God now, or something like that. I'm just like, wow. Can you imagine if somebody said that to you today and was serious? Just you catch a case. But this has been directed by Antoine Fuqua. Is that who's directing this? Yeah, and I'm a big fan of his work.
So am I.
Pretty much a lot of stuff that this gentleman has touched has turned into gold, or at least silver. Training Day, Magnificent Seven, Equalizers. I liked all of these movies. I like the Equalizer the least, but not saying that it's a bad movie. And so I'm on board with this, man. I don't think Will Smith is canceled, and some people have canceled him, but I don't think people, and majority of people will. But this does look good, man. I'm looking forward to it. When is the release date? Is it?
A buddy of mine from back home said he just went and saw Chris Rock a couple days ago, and he said he was going hard on Will Smith during his set.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
but
okay.
you know what? I think that's good. Like, I think it's really good that he's going hard on him, because I think that says that there's healing going on. He's getting it out of his system. He's going hard on him. He's using the experience for his own commercial gain, which is going to make people not feel as bad for him at the same time. Like, if he just says nothing, he's just quiet about it, people kind of tension lingers when you say stuff and you use it, it releases the tension. I think it's good for both the men. So
Right on. So guys, before we move on to the next trailer, just please let us know whether you watch this via live on the replay, what you think about this. Are you still a fan of Will Smith? Will you be seeing this movie despite the slap? Because some people are like, I'm not seeing anything Will Smith. Some people are like, he's still my dog for life. Let us know what you think about the trailer, Will Smith, Antoine Fuqua, the story itself, all that good stuff. I am dying to know, as well as Larry.
I see some people in the comments saying that they're tired of slave movies, and I get it. We all feel that way to a certain extent, and more so at certain times than others. But slavery is a part of the fabric of this nation. It is part of our foundations. It's just as much. I mean, this country, people, I think it was like American. I forgot the name of the series that was out. It was like American Crime Story. So anyways, but in one of the trailers, they said Americans love a crime story because America is a crime story. And that is just what it is. Slavery is a part of the fabric of this nation, just like crime is. Just like, that's why we love bank robberies. We love cops and robbers. We love bank robbery movies. We love all of that because our country was founded by extremists who left their country to come here. And we have been violent extremists from the very, very beginning. We have been criminals, we have been extremists, we have been religious extremists, we have been slavers and slaves. All that stuff is a part of the foundation, the fabric of our country, and we're not going to get away from it. No matter how tired you are of watching it, it's always going to be there in one shape or another.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people say no more slave movies because we haven't been made right. If you feel that way, guys, just because it's education, and my Black American story is not going to be swept under the rug. So I want as much as I get tired of it too, but I still appreciate it. I want my story to be told and understood and known, because if not, that's just going to be harder for you to seek justice. So if you're tired of slave movies, you wouldn't feel that way, I don't think, if we were, paid for all the damages, aka reparations. So fight for reparations, increase your education. The information is out there. All you have to do is Google it, and you can see all of the people working on it and help them. Or just increase your education over the next few years. Teach your children so that all this won't go to waste. And so,
I think with slave movies too, I feel like I think the slave movies, as we move forward, where we have more people of color, not just as filmmakers, but people who are actually in positions to greenlight films, we will see better movies with better representation of us, And so instead of just seeing a movie where we're just beat down and subjugated, we will see movies where you have, maybe they're inspiring movies where you see guys that are women and men that were slaves that decide they're gonna create an underground school and teach slaves how to read, which they did. Maybe they make shows about the actual Underground Railroad instead of these trash ones that I shouldn't call them all trash, but the not so good ones we've seen, and actually show some of the real stuff that happened there. There's lots of other things that we can happen. I mean, like you had before slavery was even ended, we had Cheney University, which was a stop on the Underground Railroad, but it also educated Black men and women. And so I think there's stories out there that can be told. There have been people that have left slavery, gone to the universities and become teachers and educated their other people and made great things of themselves. And those are the stories that I think we will start to see more and more in the future. So I think some of the old school sort of slave stories that we've seen in the past, I think will be fewer and far between.
Right on.